This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan. Obviously, Tropical Storm Hermine in the forefront of everybody's mind. And John Scalzi is going to tell us what is happening right now. John?
Well, the speed hasn't increased all that much as of the early morning advisory from the Hurricane Center. Hurricane aircraft did a crisscross through the system, found 60-mile-an-hour winds. But the forward motion north-northeast at about 12 has increased a little bit. And it's also turning a little bit more to the east. All of the thunderstorm activity on one side of the system, my guess is Hurricane Hunter aircraft are going to be in that thing just about nonstop until the time it makes landfall early in the morning tomorrow. We have locally kind of the threat again today of some stronger storms around, even some very heavy rainfall, especially during the second half of the day as the core of that heavy rainfall located around the system moves closer to the west coast of Florida. Most of the heavy rainfall, I think, will be from Tampa Bay northward, but we'll get our share. And we do have a flood watch up, especially for areas north of Sarasota, but it includes Sarasota coastal regions. Anna Maria Island, Holmes Beach, Longboat Key, all could see a elevated tide later today, especially at times of high tide of around 1 to 3 feet above ground. So we'll watch for that. Could lead to some minor flooding. Also, some of the thunderstorm activity that we see today has a threat of severe potential. So we'll talk all about that coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Taking a look at Suncoast roadways in Manatee County. Take a look first right off the bat. There were a lot of closures, obviously a lot of flooding yesterday. More roads are open today. There is a travel advisory in the Bowling Green area, State Road 62 and State Road 39. There is standing water at the intersection in both directions, east and westbound. And then also I-75 mile marker 210, which is Fruitville Road. There is issue there, so be aware of that. Maybe avoid that area if you can, but there is roadways, pockets of standing water. Roadways are open in Manatee County, but you do have to be aware that at any moment, any kind of rain will bring more flooding. Sarasota County has been actually not untouched by the rain, but not as much flooding and none right now.
Exactly. And as we continue to follow Tropical Storm Hermine, Governor Scott has issued and declared a state of emergency in 51 counties, including Manatee and Sarasota. This declaration means 8,000 members of the Florida National Guard are ready to be deployed whenever necessary. Today, Scott will be monitoring the storm at the State Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee. And once he gets a weather briefing from the National Hurricane Center, Scott will speak at a conference to specifically address the storm's potential to further impact the state. He's expected to speak around 11:15 this morning.
And we want to remind you that all Manatee County District schools will be closed today because of the tropical storm. They do plan to open tomorrow, but they are monitoring the situation, and we will keep you posted here at ABC7 as we find out. They're trying to decide whether to make any changes depending on the weather today. USF Sarasota Manatee and the State College of Florida have both announced that they will be closed as well. However, schools in both Sarasota and Charlotte County are open today. Sarasota County School District officials say if parents don't want to send their kids to school or are unable to, there will be no penalty for a child's absence today. Manatee County government offices will also be closed today.
County employees were sent home yesterday and have been asked to take necessary precautions for their families. The land use meeting planned for today will be rescheduled. Manatee County Emergency Operations will have a level 2 partial activation beginning at 7 this morning. Staff will hold a briefing at 10 a.m. Public safety officials ask that anyone who needs weather information not call 911. Instead, call the county's Citizens Information Center line that you can see there on your screen, 748-4501.
And new at 6 this morning, with many counties in Florida under a state of emergency, business owners need to know about an online form to help protect property and any damage that happens.
The Florida Virtual Emergency Operations Center has a wealth of information, including a form that allows business owners to report damage and request emergency funds. You can find a link to that form on mysuncoast.com.
Obviously, we are following Hermine, tropical storm now, and possibility of getting worse. And, well, there's stagnant water, but Adam Cellini, he's not remaining stagnant today. He's all over.
Yes, we find him there on Lido Beach with the latest on the storm damage. Adam.
Yeah, Don and Rebecca, I appreciate you noticing the efforts out here. I'm on Lido Key now, standing at one of the entrances to the Lido Public Beach. Behind me, you can't see it. I'm a few steps away from the shoreline where the waves are high, and they are crashing already this morning. That tide even creeping up. Probably it's right now about within 10, 15, 20 feet of the vegetation out here on Lido. There right now really no rain, not a lot of wind here on the shoreline at this moment. But that tide definitely different than normal out here on Lido Beach. Now, even driving out here, we noticed a lot more cars were on the road making their morning commute. Not a lot of flooding on the roads, but one lane both into St. Armands and leaving St. Armands closed in both directions. So mind that if you're leaving the island and taking the Ringling Bridge towards Sarasota, or vice versa, trying to head on to St. Armands today. Although I probably wouldn't recommend it with the storms coming on later this afternoon. We'll be bringing you more flooding updates from around the area. I'll be bouncing around. You'll see me at a different location next later in the show. But for now, live on Lido Key, I'm Adam Cellini, and Don and Rebecca, back to you.
Thank you so much, Adam. Didn't know about that one lane closure there on each side of the roadway on the Ringling Bridge, but good to know.
Definitely good to know, because
We'll
that's already impacted.
Issues happening, I'm sure, throughout the morning and later on in the day. And drivers hitting the road in Manatee County should definitely take precautions, because we've seen several issues because of that, a lot of flooding.
Holmes Beach, they received some national attention yesterday for all the flooding and the horrific weather up there on Anna Maria Island. Yesterday, people on Holmes Beach had to deal with flooding. And, obviously what you're seeing there, some just ungodly amounts of water there. Driving was hazardous and treacherous. It didn't take long for streets to fill up quick. The road. The flooding also led to a sewage leak. And Holmes Beach police are reminding people not to drive on flooded streets with more rain expected today. Residents are being warned to take precautions as the storms get worse throughout the day. And this, we go to a live look now at Holmes Beach City Hall, where it is just starting to rain with the ponding there. You see some still rain left over, water left over, and the grounds are saturated. So the more rain we get, the more standing water we're going to have, the worse the flooding is going to get. And obviously for drivers hitting the road over the next few days, it's important to be extra careful because of all this water. For sure, those who drive in the rain have more chance of getting in an accident.
Yeah, they say actually 70% have a higher chance of getting into an accident. AAA is advising drivers to check their tires before getting on the road and make sure they are properly inflated. Avoid the flooded streets, reduce your speed, and give more room to those driving around you.
And a new roadside assistance service offering some safety reassurance to Florida cyclists. Starting this month, the Bicycle Roadside Assistance Program is providing aid for stranded cyclists and broken bicycles, kind of like AAA is for cars. The service is aiming to improve safety for motorists and cyclists in the case of a bicycle emergency. AAA members can call and receive on-site pickup near roads or parking lots to be given a ride with their bike anywhere within their service coverage.
Well, Florida Power and Light has been working overnight to restore power in several counties across the state.
Here on the Suncoast, there are currently 54 homes without power in Manatee County. Sarasota County has only 8 outages, and there are no outages in Charlotte County. The Emergency Management Center in Manatee County has also been activated.
Now, with all the flooding, emergency management officials were out at the facility taking calls from and giving information to residents. And as you can imagine, phone lines stayed very busy yesterday late into the night. We spoke with the Manatee County EOC chief, and this is his advice to residents.
Pay attention to the weather. Tune into the news. Ask about what's going on before you start making decisions. If you don't have to go out, stay home. Stay off the flooded roads. As you saw today, we've got a tremendous amount of flooding going on. If more rain comes, that's going to be challenging for us.
I love that. The county has been giving out sandbags to residents over the past couple of days, but there's no decision yet on whether they'll be available again today. That still depends on the weather, and it will be safe for officials to be handing out sandbags You can get them in Sarasota County today if they are available. They'll be available at Newtown Estates Park, Twin Lakes Park, and the South County Fleet Facility in Venice from 9 to 6. And a reminder that we do have lots of storm-related information and updated closures on our website. To keep track of all the latest developments on the weather, you can get updates on the tropics and the Suncoast forecast 24 hours a day. Log on to our website, mysuncoast.com. You can also download our app, where you will be sending out several push notifications and alerts as they come in, so you can get that information immediately. And monitor our Facebook and Twitter pages. We're also going Facebook Live. Several of our reporters on the scene. They can show you more detailed flooded areas throughout the day, so make sure to check that out as well.
We will likely see some more stormy weather later on this afternoon. Some of the storms actually could drop down some tornadoes, and we're going to be watching at times of high tide, especially coastal regions from Middle Longboat Key up through Anna Maria Island for possible flooding there. It could get a couple feet above ground level there, which could lead to some minor flooding. We'll talk about the forecast in a few.
Also, just as John said, those coastal cities bracing for another round of storms from Tropical Storm Hermine as it continues its path towards the Panhandle. We'll have all the details you need to know. Stay with us.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell. Replacing your windows will not just beautify your home, but save you big bucks on your energy bills. I've done the research. I've seen the factory. New South Window is my hands-down choice.
New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
At Sunset Subaru in Sarasota, we make sure you get the most for your money. More years, more miles, and when you're ready to sell, you'll get more money back. Come fall in love with the longest-lasting vehicle in its class, the Subaru Outback. Or lease a new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing right now during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
We've been slow smoking over oak for more than 45 years. And while sticking to tried and true traditions is kind of our thing, it doesn't hurt to throw something new in the smoker every now and then. Come get some slow-smoked chicken wings at Sonny's Barbecue. Order them as an appetizer or as part of a combo with pork, baby back ribs, or both, starting at $10.99. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you. Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So current conditions outside, 77 degrees, 73-degree dew point. Southeast wind coming in at about 11 is not too terribly bad. Though Becky and Mayaca Morgan Lee in Bradenton reports it being a little breezy at her house. Also, she picked up 7¼ inches of rainfall at her house yesterday. Becky in Old Myakkup got 4 inches of rainfall. And again today, we could see some fairly good downpours of rain coming as we head into the second half of the afternoon and into the evening hours. Here's what's going on currently. Not a lot of heavy rainfall across the region, certainly nothing like it was yesterday, but we do have some showers and some moderate rain falling across Anna Maria, Holmes Beach, down through Upper Longboat Key, as we mentioned we might earlier in the broadcast. And plus, further out between Manatee and Hardy counties, we have along 64 some showers and occasionally some moderate rain moving across the roadway there. So if you're traveling to or from those areas, you'll want to be aware of that. Otherwise, this is what we wait for. Big storms out in Gulf waters, all surrounding Hermine. These showers and thunderstorms in the last few frames, you'll notice, kind of take a little bit more of an easterly turn. And the reason for that is that the storm system itself has now started taking a little bit more of an easterly turn, beginning that hook back toward the northern Gulf Coast. Now, what you didn't see on radar is that contained out here in the Gulf, way beyond the look of radar, with these bright red cloud tops indicating some very cold cloud tops, some very tall cloud tops, are some big thunderstorms and big rains. And those are headed toward parts of the Gulf Coast. Now, I think up around the Big Bend area, that's where you'll see those 10-inch rainfalls a little bit later on today. But even so, around here, we can pick up another additional 4 to 6 inches of rain before it's all said and done as we go through the next day or two. 60-mile-an-hour winds as of the last observation. Northeast wind at about 12. Hurricane Hunter aircraft investigating. We'll have an update on the system as we head into the 11 o'clock hour. North-northeast motion now indicating that little bit of a turn off to the northeast. Forecast to become minimal hurricane strength, perhaps, as it makes landfall. On the east side of the storm, that's where the storm surge will be worst, and that's right in that concave section where the water will pile up. But even so, as it moves off over land, it will re-exit out into the Atlantic on Saturday and then move out into open Gulf waters. The forecast for this system keeps the strongest winds offshore, but still we will have an onshore wind flow, which means rip currents will be an issue across our area. And we could get some gusts, particularly in Anna Maria and Holmes Beach, that come up to near tropical storm force strength. The rest of us will see about a 20-25 mile an hour wind later today, which will be kind of exciting for a lot of people, I think, but it won't do damage to structures. If you look at some of these wave heights, that's the other thing we will be watching is the time of high tide between 1 and 2 o'clock this afternoon and 1 and 2 o'clock Friday morning for perhaps some slosh over along area beaches. We could see, some minor coastal flooding in Anna Maria and Holmes Beach because of that little surge effect. Gusty winds this afternoon, small craft advisory, rough seas, obviously stay in port. Conditions will improve by the time we get to Saturday. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Obviously, the roadways are very important this morning. We want to warn you about some flooding and some slowdowns that you might see right now on the Palmetto Bridges. We do see a little bit of a slowdown on the Green Bridge northbound and also on the DeSoto as you're getting onto the bridge there right out of Bradenton. But it looks like 41, 301 in the interstate so far doing pretty well at this point in the morning. But in Bradenton, the Bowling Green area, do be aware that east and westbound State Road 62, there are some slowdowns there because of water in the roadway. Be aware of that. In Sarasota, we are seeing a report right now on I-75 southbound at the Fruitville exit, which is mile marker 210, that there is some road blockage. FHP is not saying, or it's unknown what is in the roadway at this point in the morning, but be aware that the road is blocked at I-75 southbound at Fruitville Road. As you head down into South County, we're still not seeing any major slowdowns or issues there. Just be aware that the roads still are slick at this point in the morning. And then as the rain starts to come down, there are areas that do tend to flood. Well, if we can get the rain out of the way before the weekend and you want to have some fun this weekend, you might want to think about heading to Englewood.
I think people are going to need a release after the storm. Labor Day weekend is the biggest weekend of the year. ABC 7's Linda Carson tells us why.
Englewood has a proud history. It was settled by William Goff and his family back in 1878. Then in 1956, Joe Cortez started the Pioneer Days Festival the weekend of Labor Day.
She started it because things were slow in Englewood over the summer months, and she wanted to give the businesses an opportunity to display their wares, be part of something fun, and then people in the community just needed something fun to look forward to.
Turned out it was a big lift to the spirits and the economy, so it's been going strong ever since. It starts Saturday morning with the cardboard boat races in Indian Mound Park. Saturday night, there's the shipwreck dance.
We're inviting everyone to have a party with us in Englewood. Live bands, music, food, all kinds of fun things right on the edge of the water.
Sunday morning kicks off with the Kids Fish-a-thon,
which is at the Tom Adams Bridge, 8 a.m., free for children 12 and under. And then we have the Diaper Derby at the Lemon Bay Women's Club at 2 o'clock.
And the festival party goes from noon until 9 p.m.
We have booths, we have food, we have a lot of live music on the stage, local musicians as well as some musicians coming down from Sarasota. We're featuring Kettle of Fish on Sunday night.
Labor Day starts off with an 8 a.m. fun run.
At 9 o'clock, we start our parade. It'll come down Old Englewood Road, and it will go to Dearborn Street, and our festival will last until 3 o'clock.
There are 2 car shows, an open car show Sunday and a Corvette show Monday, both featuring cars from 1956, and a rockin' kids zone.
The free area set up just for kids with arts and crafts and yard games, and again, it's all free for the children.
The Pioneer Days Festival means a lot to the people of Englewood. It's an opportunity to show everybody the special things about their hometown.
A lot of wonderful people, great places to shop and eat, wonderful beaches, but more importantly, it's our home, it's our hometown. And I think people need to come and see what a great hometown we have.
Pioneer Days in Englewood. It's the biggest thing happening on the Suncoast this Labor Day weekend, and one of the biggest things happening in the entire state of Florida. So get on down and have some old-fashioned fun. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Linda.
Yes, indeed. It is a hidden gem because people have, I think John Scalzi even went down there. He's like, it's amazing. I had no idea how great it was down there. And it's still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
A cruise around the world landed 2 women in jail. We'll show you why coming up.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease a new 2016 Lexus ES350 for only $329, or enjoy 0.9% APR, just $329, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities, and that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
US Med has great news for anyone living with diabetes.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, US Med will ship a new glucose meter right to your home.
And shipping is free.
My new meter uses only a speck of blood, so it's less painful than my previous meter.
If you have Medicare, private insurance, or prescription drug coverage, you're covered with US Med. We're welcoming new patients, even if your current provider can't supply you anymore.
I don't even have to test on my fingers anymore. I can test on my hand or forearms, and it's more accurate than my old meter.
So call US Med today, and you'll have a choice of 2 great meters.
One that actually speaks your results, or a meter so small it fits on the bottle of strips.
Act now, and US Med will include a free prescription discount card. We'll also send you a free diabetes cookbook. This is your opportunity.
So call US Med today.
You'll be glad you did.
Since 1928, Karastan has been setting the standard in carpets and rugs, producing non-allergenic wools that won't promote the growth of bacteria or dust mites like other carpets will. Karastan wools actively remove contaminants from the indoor air, making your home healthier. And there are many colors and patterns and textures to choose from. Come see for yourself.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Sarasota Flooring.
Stand out in your new wild Lexus. Now is your golden opportunity to lease the bold new 2016 Lexus RX 350 for only $419, or enjoy 1.9% APR, just $419, exclusively at Wild Lexus of Sarasota on Clark Road.
Welcome back at 6:26. 2 women being held in Australia after being discovered with a huge cache of cocaine.
Yeah, they talked about it all over social media. So ABC's Gio Benitez has the details.
In this morning's GMA First Look, how police say this globe-trotting vacation landed 2 women behind bars in an Australian jail. 22-year-old Melina Roberge and 28-year-old Isabel Lagace posted images showing an extravagant and fun-filled cruise on Instagram. But authorities say they discovered 209 pounds of cocaine in their luggage, worth a staggering $22 million.
This is the biggest seizure of narcotics through a passenger stream.
The Canadian pair boarded a cruise ship 2 months ago, starting in the UK and visiting 11 countries until its final destination in Sydney, Australia, where police finally arrested them and a 63-year-old man.
The seizure of these drugs has disrupted the supply of cocaine to the streets of Sydney and beyond.
And we'll have more on the international investigation coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
After I got my glasses, I just feel like I can do anything.
Yeah, I think I'm rocking these.
The right pair of glasses does more than improve vision. And right now, 2 pairs of kids' glasses are just $99. Vision Works. Shop in store or online.
Come on. Dogs just won't quit. Neither does new Frontline Gold. Its triple action formula is relentless at killing fleas and ticks for a full 30 days.
Good boy.
Go for the gold.
It's that time again for the kids to go back to school.
We need to go to Burlington. You know, I love the prices. They have all the brands, all the styles.
You look so cute. Look at this price.
Let's go, Burlington, let's go!
Allergies distracting you? When your symptoms start, doctors recommend taking non-drowsy Claritin every day of your allergy season. Claritin provides powerful, non-drowsy 24-hour relief for fewer interruptions from the amazing things you do every day. Live Claritin Clear.
On Animal Outtakes, every week, it's a new animal adventure. From meeting curious lemurs to feeding big cats and hosing down rhinos, there's never a dull moment. And sometimes these amazing animals chime in. Tune in to Animal Outtakes to find out what they have to say. Watch Animal Outtakes this weekend on ABC 7.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
If you're one of the millions of Americans who are disabled and unable to work, I have an important message. You may be entitled to receive disability benefits through Social Security. You'll be matched up with an advocate who will evaluate your situation, handle your application, deal with Social Security for you, and handle all appeals and hearings. Best of all, there are no upfront fees, so you pay nothing until you receive your benefits.
Call the Citizens Disability Helpline today for a free, no-obligation consultation.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on a pedal. You get a clean mop pad that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
Temperatures on the Suncoast are rising and the deals are hotter than ever during the summer clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. You'll feel cooler than ever when you drive away in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $19,999, or take home a stylish new Jeep Renegade for just $17,999. How about a new 2016 Jeep Patriot for just $14,999? Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, continuing to trap Tropical Storm Hermine. We'll have the latest developments on this storm.
Plus, another phone scam making the rounds in Florida, why the Department of Elder Affairs is now getting involved.
And if you plan on visiting the Ringling, you may be digging a little deeper into your pocket.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. I'm Rebecca Vargas.
And I'm Don Brennan, along with John Scalzi, who has been watching the storm closely. And right now, we're feeling a lull. No, I mean it was crazy yesterday. Today it seems like it's normal. Like driving to work today, I had no idea anything happened. You would almost not believe it, but it's coming.
Yeah, it was isolated really in northwest Bradenton and in Pinellas County, where the heaviest of the rain fell. But still, other people have gotten, for instance, Becky in Mayaca phoned in. She got 4 inches of rainfall, and Morgan Lee in Bradenton got 7.2 inches of rainfall.
So this is breaking records.
Oh, absolutely. 1928 record in Sarasota at the airport was just shy of 7 inches, just shy of 6 inches. We got 7.75 inches. So, I mean, just tremendous amounts of rainfall, and we'll probably see more again today. And that's a reminder that, you know, over this holiday weekend, I know a lot of people like to, I know people, personally, people who like to go out there to Mayaca State Park and enjoy things, but all of our area rivers, you know, the Ohio, the Mayaca, the Manatee, all forecast to be cresting over the next several days. And at the Mayaca River, we're going to crest at about 9.3 feet on Saturday morning. And at that height, I suspect a lot of the park will be shut down, so you may want to adjust your plans there. Otherwise, we're watching today at time of high tide for the potential of 1 to 3 feet of above ground slosh over in Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island. That high tide occurring between 1 and 2 o'clock. Also 1 and 2 o'clock early Friday morning after midnight. We'll be watching that as well as we get a stronger onshore flow of air and the storm system strengthens and gets a little closer to North Florida. Currently some light rain falling across the area, but as Don mentioned, nothing really heavy this afternoon as storms begin to move in this afternoon and evening. We'll watch for the potential of any severe weather. Severe Storm Prediction Center puts us in a marginal risk zone, meaning about a 2% chance of tornadoes, which sounds small, but is still significant. We'll have to watch for that. Otherwise, expect to see the rains again today, heavy at times this afternoon, an additional 2 to 6 inches of rain possible from south to north across the region. Complete forecast details in a minute.
Thank you, John. And taking a look at the roadways, a lot of the standing water and flooding has dissipated, but there are still little pockets, so be aware, especially in the dark. It's harder to see. One issue that is still a problem is State Road 62 and State Road 39. That's the Bowling Green area in Manatee County. There is water in the roadway, both eastbound and westbound, and that is an issue, but it is open, the roadway. Also, there is an accident at mile marker 220 on 75 northbound. It is an accident, but there is no roadblock or impediment of any kind, so the road is moving. And also at Fruitville Road on 75 southbound, there is roadblocked at mile marker 210. That's 75 southbound, but that is really the only issue in Sarasota County. All the other roadways are moving along without any problems this morning. Topping our news this morning, continuing to follow the storm for sure.
Governor Scott has now declared a state of emergency in 51 counties, including Manatee and Sarasota. This declaration means 8,000 members of the Florida National Guard are ready to be deployed whenever necessary. Today, we will be monitoring the storm at the State Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee. And once Scott gets a weather briefing from the National Hurricane Center, he will speak at a conference to specifically address the storm's potential to further impact the state of Florida. Scott is expected to speak around 11:15 this morning.
And we want to remind you, as far as schools are concerned, Manatee County schools are closed today. We will let you know about tomorrow. As of right now, they're open tomorrow. But Sarasota County schools, Charlotte County schools are open today. USF Sarasota Manatee closed today, as is State College of Florida closed today. But we will keep you updated throughout the day. Manatee County is monitoring the situation as far as tomorrow is concerned.
Well, drivers hitting the road in Manatee County today should take precautions.
Yes, Holmes Beach received national attention for all the flooding and the inclement weather up there. Emery Island was inundated. People on Holmes Beach had to deal with flooding all day yesterday. It didn't take long for the streets to fill up quickly, and it won't today either because we are saturated. At one point, it got so bad on Gulf Drive that police had to close the road. The flooding also led to a sewage leak. Holmes Beach police are reminding people not to drive on flooded streets with more rain expected today.
And this, yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is a live look from Holmes Beach City Hall, or Palm Drive, actually, where we're looking at it right now. There is standing water, and the road is closed there this morning, so be aware of that. That's Palm Drive. Drivers hitting the road over the next few days. Also, it's important to be extra careful. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, you are 70% more likely to have an accident in the rain.
Yeah, AAA is advising drivers to check their tires before getting on the road and make sure they're properly inflated. Avoid flooded streets, reduce your speed, and give more room to those driving around you. Taking a look statewide, the worst is yet to come as Tropical Storm Hermine makes its way northbound.
As we've already seen, the outer bands of the storm have flooded all over here, the Suncoast. Roads have turned into rivers and pools. Tampa has been really bad. Several families evacuated from apartments in Largo, where it's an all-out scramble. At the sandbag depot, 7,000 sandbags were filled in Largo yesterday alone. On Cedar Key, up to 5 feet of storm surge is possible, and City Hall now boarded up. Residents putting furniture on cinder blocks, and some of the oil rigs in the Gulf of Mexico have also been evacuated as a precaution as the storm gathers around, gains strength, and finds direction. In Sarasota County, a viewer has given us a tip on current conditions at McIntosh Road and Bay Vista.
ABC 7's Adam Gelini is now joining us live from there with the latest. Adam?
Yeah, that was a good tip. There is still really kind of severe flooding out here at McIntosh. This is the heading towards the light at McIntosh and Bay Vista, and it's been a particularly dangerous spot for drivers because they're coming right around a bend to get out here and really seeing the flooding like you saw right there. They're seeing the flooding kind of last minute. We've had a few cars almost hit each other, a couple cars almost hydroplaned through it. It's pretty deep up to, I think, maybe mid, almost near the top of some of these small sedan tires. So it's been interesting standing out here, and I'm surprised I haven't seen an accident, to be honest with you. Morning traffic hasn't picked up too much along here, but just a reminder to all drivers, look, we don't know where the flooded spots are. Be very, very careful negotiating some of these curves and turns because this especially just jumps up on you here on McIntosh Road. Not a lot of rain right now. There hasn't been a ton of rain in Sarasota County this morning, so it's kind of surprising to see even that much flooding still standing this morning. And, you know, like we've said all morning, if more rain comes later on tonight, I can only imagine what it's going to look like out here. So we'll give you more updates here throughout the morning. This is the latest. Watch out, McIntosh near Bay Vista. Live in Sarasota, Adam Cellini, Rebecca and Don, back to you.
Thank you so much, Adam. And a reminder that we do have lots of storm-related information and updated closures on our website.
And to keep track of all the latest developments on the weather, you can get updates on the tropics and the Suncoast forecast 24 hours a day. Log on to mysuncoast.com. You can also download our app, which sends you up-to-the-minute updates, and monitor our Facebook and Twitter pages as well. In fact, that's how I found out about Manatee County school closures yesterday. And got it right on my app.
Push
Bang.
notifications and the state of emergency as well, just as it came through. Well, the Florida Department of Transportation plans to hold a public meeting tonight on improvement plans for the intersection at State Road 64 and White Eagle Boulevard.
FDOT is considering options on using a signalized intersection or a roundabout at the intersection. The meet will be held tonight from 5 to 7 at the FDOT Manatee Operations Center on East State Road 64 in Bradenton. No word on whether the weather will affect that, but we will keep you posted in our later newscasts.
Well, in Sarasota County, the numbers are in on school enrollment from the first week of school.
According to the Herald Tribune, attendance fell just short of expectations. In the first 5 days of school, nearly 42,500 students enrolled in the school district. The school board was expecting about 43,000 students to enroll. District officials say their expectations reflect what they think enrollment will be in October, so they're expecting the number of students to increase in the coming weeks. And most students were enrolled in elementary schools, followed by high schools and charter schools, and then middle schools. Bringing up the rear, no school showed any huge increase or decrease in their enrollment. And a Suncoast woman charged with stealing $85,000 from a local Girl Scout organization.
The sheriff's office launched an investigation in May after the CEO of Gulf Coast Girl Scouts reported more than $75,000 was missing from their account. Stephanie Person was immediately identified as a possible suspect since she managed 500 individual troops as a member services coordinator. The investigation revealed that Person used an inactive troop account to transfer money to herself. Person is now charged with grand theft and scheme to defraud.
Department of Elderly Affairs, or Elder Affairs, is warning Florida residents about another phone scam making the rounds. The department says they're receiving reports of calls from people claiming to be from the department or another senior services organization. The callers ask for personal information like credit card numbers for payments like funeral insurance. They then defraud the victim. The Department of Elder Affairs will not solicit payment over the phone, so if you receive any such call, just hang up.
Well, the John and Mabel Ringling Museum of Art is going to cost you a little more to visit. This week, the museum introduced a separate $10 admission fee for visitors taking a self-guided tour of the first floor of the Catazan. That tour used to be included in the $25 general admission fee. However, the general admission will remain at $25, and then add on that $10. Tickets for after-hour programs also went up from $10 to now $15. The museum says it has not raised prices in over 10 years, and with many new exhibits, it needs to do so to maintain upkeep. I know we are one of the top art museums in the nation, so.
And that's not bad, 10 years without a price increase.
It is indeed. I don't think there'll be a lot of people out and about this afternoon, you know, enjoying what the Suncoast has to offer. They'll be indoors, hopefully, off the roadways, because there will undoubtedly be some more strong storms around. We'll take a look at that in just a minute.
My dad is my hero, and I wanted to give him a chance to live life and be happy. Granny Nannies has been a huge help. It has contributed to the health and happiness of my dad, for sure.
A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Hi, I'm Dylan Radigan. The world is brimming with possibilities. And that keeps me busy. My latest invention may be able to feed and sustain communities around the world. My team and I are always on the go, meeting new people and seeing new places. I produce films that I really care about. It's an honor to speak to audiences around the world. When people come together, meaningful work gets done. How do I do all this? Well, that part's easy. Hotelplanner.com.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Granny Nannies. We've been making house calls for over 25 years. When you need home health care services, there really is no place like home.
Grandma! A helping hand and a gentle heart.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So current conditions keep our wind speeds down to under 15 miles per hour with southeast now at about 11. But as we head into the afternoon and into the evening hours, we'll see those wind speeds start to increase. They'll probably get up to about 15 to 20, maybe even 25 miles per hour sustained, especially along the coastline, especially in northern parts of the area. Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, north-facing sections of Manatee County, things like that. And that could also exacerbate the surge issue, which we may have in some of those locations a little bit later on today. Now, we're not going to have a big storm surge around here. That's going to be reserved for the Big Bend region of the state of Florida, where they could have some serious storm surge with this system. Showers and thunderstorms across the region have somewhat abated, but there is more on the way. Later this morning into the afternoon hours, more thunderstorm activity approaches. I think by the noontime hour, we'll have some pretty good rainfall around here, some of it pretty heavy at times. We're looking right now at some minor rain across areas of Longboat Key, Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, Bradenton. Some heavier storms out in Gulf waters gradually lifting northward. Will probably be here in about an hour or so. And we're looking at some storminess still continuing between Hardee and Manatee counties along 64. So this is what we're worried about out here, the leading edge of this massive amount of rainfall. And I know this looks bad, but what you're not seeing is what's way out there in Gulf waters. This is the enhanced satellite view, a loop of it from yesterday evening through current conditions. Watch as the last few frames show the storms building and moving in this direction. And the reason for that is that the storm itself has started to move in a more easterly direction. So as this large mass of rainfall, heavy rainfall and showers gradually drifts towards our coastline, we are in for some very heavy rainfall later on today. 60-mile-an-hour winds currently north-northeast direction at 12. It's increased in forward speed, and it is also moving a little bit more to the east. Forecast track continues to carry it up toward Apalachicola and making landfall early in the morning tomorrow, just after the midnight hour, staying over land, then re-exiting Saturday morning out in Atlantic waters. The thing that I am concerned, one of the things that I am concerned about with this storm today is the propagation of waves out from the center of the storm. 5-foot waves along the shore, even higher than that. And as it begins to get closer to Apalachicola, makes its closest pass by us and increases in strength, we could see 1 to 3 feet of water above ground level from Holmes Beach north into Anna Maria. That combined with a strong onshore flow creating rip current issues could create some issues. Be minor flooding, but nevertheless, it'll be flooding most likely. South wind coming in at 25 knots, small craft advisories up, flood watch for the heavy thunderstorm activity expected later today into tomorrow, and then finally clearing for the weekend. Back to you.
John, the roadways are what you're going to want to avoid today if you can, but if you are on the roads or about to head out the door, be aware that in Palmetto we're already seeing some heavy buildup on the Green Bridge northbound, also around 301 northbound approaching State Road 70. Right now, we do want to make you aware that State Road 62 and State Road 39 in the east and westbound lanes, there still is water there. That's the Bowling Green area in Manatee County. And a couple accidents that we are seeing, they're not causing roadblock, but they both are on the interstate. One is an I-75 northbound at exit 220. Be aware of that. That is further north in Manatee. Not causing slowdowns in the northbound lanes, but on I-75 southbound at mile marker 210, which is Fruitville Road, there's an accident. It's not causing any roadblock right now. Bee Ridge Road definitely picking up in volume, and just be aware of all of the areas that normally flood when we do have these storms, that later on in the day they can, and just so take your time on the roadways and avoid those flooded areas. Well, in health news this morning, depression, it's one of the most common mental disorders in the U.S., and in 2014, 15 million adults suffered from at least one episode of depression, but many aren't getting the help that they need.
Researchers at Columbia University Medical Center and the University of Pennsylvania looked at data from 46,000 adults. They found that less than a third of adults who screened positive for major depression received treatment for the disorder. The study also found that some people who were being treated for depression might not be depressed at all. Data did indicate that among those receiving treatment for depression, 66% did not report symptoms of serious psychological distress.
This type of weather doesn't make you feel too good.
It doesn't help, and then any of the damage that it causes either.
All right, well, stay with us.
We'll be right back.
Hurricane season is here. Are you prepared? ABC7 has the information you need. Access our special Surviving a Hurricane now. Learn how to prepare a readiness plan and survival kit. Know your evacuation route. Be prepared, Suncoast, when severe weather threatens. Access our special on our ABC7 app and all our live streaming platforms.
Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, and Roku. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Using baby powder or talc may lead to ovarian cancer. $72 million was awarded in a recent talc lawsuit after lawyers found secret internal documents showing that the baby powder manufacturer knew about the link between talcum powder and ovarian cancer for decades, but never told the public. If you were diagnosed with ovarian cancer after using talcum powder on a regular basis, you may qualify for a cash award. Call 800-793-6621. 800-793-6621.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Get ready, college football fans. When you buy a $5 or more Fantasy 5 ticket and enter your team's drawing, you could win great prizes like team merchandise, tickets to your team's games, and other bowl game experiences. You could even win a championship weekend prize pack in Tampa or $10,000 cash. Fantasy 5 from the Florida Lottery. Just imagine.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
taking one last look at the roadways in this 6 o'clock hour. Right now, the Palmetto bridges at the Green Bridge northbound are very slow. It's very slow going in those lanes right now. Also at 301 approaching State Road 70. Be aware that in the Bowling Green area, State Road 62 and State Road 39, east and westbound, there is water there. Holmes Beach, Palm Drive, it is closed down due to some heavy flooding there. Bee Ridge Road picking up in volume, going slow westbound this morning. A couple accidents on the interstate. Looks like they're clear at this point in the morning, so you don't have to be aware of it. It was at State Road 64 and Fruitville, but those are clear into South County.
So the next thing we're going to be watching today is around the lunchtime hour when those showers out in Gulf waters will be approaching our area. That will coincide with the time of high tide, and that could lead to some problems in Holmes Beach, Anna Maria Island, Longboat Key with a slosh over. As far as the evening goes, we'll also be very concerned about the high tide that occurs just after midnight in terms of some possible key flooding.
Thank you, John. And well, with flooding, you never know what you're going to find under the waters. That's why they say don't drive or walk in flooded waters. Look at this, a crocodilia, as the woman was referring to it. But it is an alligator in the flood in the street right here on the Suncoast.
In Bradenton.
Yes, right there in Bradenton.
Wow.
And
Yeah, there you go.
Alligator in the floodwaters, obviously with the canals and rivers flooding over. And if there is fresh water in Florida, there's usually a gator.
They might be swimming down the street.
Snakes, can see
Yikes.
snakes.
So don't walk through.
Other type of vermin.
Yeah.
Yep, stay out of those floodwaters.
All right, well, stay up to date with us. Get the app. Check us out on mysuncoast.com for all of those updates throughout the day.
Yep.
Have a great morning. We'll see you tomorrow.